The plastic surgeon pushed his 300-pound wife onto the operating table. Then he grabbed a power saw. This startled his wife. She had not yet been given anesthesia. The man said her surgery was very difficult. She had to remain awake at all times and could not have anesthesia, although the woman was very frightened inside. When she thought that after the surgery she could pass herself off as the CEO's wife and live a luxurious life, she agreed to undergo the operation without anesthesia. Little did she know the man was actually planning to get back at her. It turned out they had originally been a married couple. Although the woman was fat and ugly, she wanted to live like a princess. She often asked her husband to buy her expensive necklaces. The man was miserable because of this. One day when they went out, they happened to run into the CEO and his wife shopping. The CEO had the clerk wrap up all the jewelry for his wife. Seeing how lavishly the CEO spent, the woman was extremely jealous. She envied that the CEO's wife had a rich husband. She began to resent her own husband, so she stormed off in anger right in front of him. That afternoon, the CEO's wife went missing. That night, after the man got off work and returned home, he discovered that the woman had kidnapped the CEO's wife. The woman demanded her husband transform her to look like the CEO's wife. She wanted to become the CEO's spouse. This terrified the man, because the CEO not only loved his wife dearly but was also extremely ruthless. Previously, a doctor who had drawn just 2 extra milliliters of blood from the CEO's wife was forced by the CEO to have 1,000 milliliters of blood drawn from him. If the CEO found out she was impersonating his wife, he would never let her off. Saying that, the man was about to call the police to make her confess. The woman, however, thought her husband did not want her to have a good life. She picked up a pair of scissors and stabbed him. The man fell to the ground without a breath. In the next moment, time unexpectedly rewound. The man was reborn back to 3 minutes before. Seeing the woman's crazed expression and her determination to marry into a wealthy family, the man finally saw her true nature. This time he did not stop her. Instead, he looked at her with tender eyes and promised to help her achieve her dream. With the man's help, the woman was pushed into the operating room. Because the woman was obese, the surgery was difficult, and it had to be done without anesthesia. But for wealth and glory, the woman still endured it. Little did she know all of that was the man's lie. Skipping the anesthesia was just his way of getting revenge on her. That very day, word that the CEO's wife was in the hospital reached the CEO's ears. The CEO, accompanied by his subordinates, went to welcome his wife. By then the woman had also finished her surgery. Under the man's expert knife, her figure had improved, but once the bandages were removed, everyone was stunned, because several scars covered the woman's face. Seeing this, the woman panicked, because she had already notified the CEO to come to the hospital. If the CEO discovered she was an imposter, she would surely die. At that moment, the woman suddenly noticed the man standing in front of a drawer. She shoved him aside. Sure enough, inside she found a vial of medicine. The man also said it was a top-grade special serum. It could restore the woman's appearance in 10 seconds, but the side effects were too severe. Yet the woman, bent on marrying into wealth, would not listen. No matter what, she insisted on injecting the serum. That